Here we go with the Mercury retrograde message. First time checking in live in a little while. Thank you for the break. We have Mercury retrograde, Mars and Gemini. Hopefully that tune set you off right. Okay. And before we go any further, I want to let y'all know up front that there will be a little discount for you. Okay. If you enter this code, Shaman22, we do have a numerology series and it's beginning. And here's the different weeks that we'll be going through. 12 weeks. All right. You get a little discount. Decide if you want to pull up. And this is going to be a joy of mine. It starts April 18th. All right. I'll make another announcement a little later. I'll let y'all know up front, though. It ends July 31st. July 31st. And there's only going to be 2 people that will get that discount. So I'll make more official announcements soon, but that's for you. You have that. And we will pull up and see you soon. So let's see what this does. Okay, good. So don't forget, you have that discount happening. And it's going to end on the 31st of July. Shaman22 is the discount code. You see it right here. Okay. So if you don't have that, let a brother know and I will send you something. Okay. So we're going to do all 12 signs today. All right. We're going to go from Aries up to Pisces. And it's going to be a forecast for 2 for Mars and Gemini and how a Mercury retrograde will impact you as an individual. I brought my tea here so I can make sure that every once in a while, I make sure I slow it down. Let me wipe this camera real quick. Make sure we got the cleanness we got going on. And so here's a couple early critical dates that I have for you. Okay. Step 1, the shadow period for retrograde has already begun July 16th. So start already taking a slow notice. August 5th, it actually begins. August 5th, the retrograde begins. Now, why all of this stuff matters is understand that Mars and Gemini, the reason why I combine this together is Gemini's ruler is who? Mercury. So everything that Gemini is going to go through is going to be impacted by Mercury in Virgo and Mercury in Leo. So it's going to go Mercury Virgo, which has already started. It's going to go back, okay, from August 5th, where we began our shadow period in Mercury and Leo, aka July 16th. And then we're going to go forward again up until, and my date's right here, August 28th. And so the retrograde starts at 4 degrees of Virgo, okay, very early decan of Virgo, aka it has a lot of Leo energy even at the beginning of the retrograde. In Vedic astrology, it's Maga Nakshatra. This is representing divine fatherly energies, the P3s, the masculine divine figures who were there at the birth of our universe, our entire solar system. This particular one we as humans live on. And it birthed the masculine celestial energy within us at its divine frequency, not the immature, wounded, and shadow frequency of the masculine energy. So even though this is starting in Virgo, it's really in the part of the constellation of divine masculine energy. It's the part of Virgo that's very masculine. It's very methodical. It's very objective. It's very analytical, right? It's not very closely linked to its feelings. It's very far off. It's very much cerebral. And so this is the masculine energy that's happening. So we have Mars and Gemini. Mars is a masculine warrior, somebody who wants to get things done, somebody who wants to push things forward, and somebody who wants to slice and dice and sever old goals that you once held on to, dreams and aspirations you had, networks and groups that supported or that pretty much collapsed those dreams of yours. They are in the process of ceasing to exist. Mars and Gemini is cutting them through. It's allowing you to decide what's worth doing, what's worth living, what's worth completing, what's worth improving. And this is the question you want to ask yourself: what's worth it in the physical, mundane reality? This is everything Mars and Gemini is bringing. And that's because it rules the 11th and the 6th house. Now, when we go back into Mercury, who's ruling Gemini, again, in the final, from July 16th, the shadow began. August 5th, Mercury will be 4 degrees in Virgo, and it'll go back to 21 degrees. It's still the 3rd decan of Leo. There's still a late Leo degree. So we have Leo ruled by the sun, Next is Sag by Jupiter, and then Aries by Mars. So this 21 degrees of Leo is actually ruled by a Martian charge, a Martian Aryan type charge. So this is a lot of firepower that we should not mistake. All right. But understand it's a Leo, it's a sun energy with Martian energy. So the general is ready to step on the battlefield and get things done. But right now, when I'm doing this message, we're at the first quarter moon in Taurus. So it's looking at things methodically, not trying to really push and do anything extra too much, being very sensitive of your physical environment leading to it. Okay. And now what's important is when it goes back to Leo, we're going to be in a part of the constellation sky called Astrolasia, which is really much a spy. It is a very secretive energy. It is an energy that helps us to dive into the deep recesses of our subconscious mind and understand our patterns and how we mentally and logically manifest those patterns by having thoughts, and which thoughts of ours are negative and they're making us have these terminal illnesses and sicknesses, especially in the mind, because we're talking Mercury related. So what mental illnesses? Schizophrenia, bipolar disease, switching your mind and changing your mind to the point where it's actually become debilitating. These are themes that are happening in Astrolasia, this leaving us back into this constellation of Leo and Mercury. This retrograde is allowing us to kill this negative thought pattern, kill this very sensitive stage of our conditions and our upbringing, and take a very clear look at them and realize, you know what? If I accept it, I realize I was hurt by something that I tried to pretend that didn't hurt me. And it's running a program, it's continuously making me act and behave in a certain way. So drop in the chat off the rip, what is your signs, the signs you have the most of? It could be your sun, moon, and rising, but maybe you have something outside of that. You have a stellium in Virgo, you have a stellium in Aquarius, and it's not your sun, moon, and rising. Drop those signs, and when we get the forecast for all 12 signs, you'll be able to have that for you. Now understand the final is the retrograde will end on 28th of August, and then the shadow will end on the iconic September 11th, 9/11. Okay. And I remind y'all here that we're on a numerology masterclass starting August 18th, somewhere in the middle of this retrograde. And if you type discount code on my website, Shaman22, you will get $22 off of this particular masterclass. It's going to be a numerology masterclass. You see it right here. Okay. Here's week 1. All right. And if I look at it, week 1 is going to be about your life path, your destiny, your history, manual calculations. Week 2, about your weakness, your strengths, your compatibility today. All right. Week 3, the places, the advice, the colors, the animals associated with the numbers, the health implications of numbers, your hobbies associated with the numbers. Okay. And week 4, we're going to talk about crystals, gems. Okay. Oils, essential oils, and the type of careers related to numbers, feng shui in your home, different mantras related to the numbers, the numbers that bring fame. It's not as obvious as you may think. The plants that you could put in your home, you see, you have plants in the back that support the numerology and the feng shui of your home. We're going to talk about something called the triangle of enlightenment. We've heard this a lot of times, talking about master numbers, among other things, double digits, all of them, from 11, 22 up to 99. And then week 7, we have here, we're going to help you understand what prime is. Prime is something that helps you to communicate with angelic angels, and it's an acronym. We're going to help you understand and break down this acronym to understand the blueprint of how angels are talking to you. Week 6, the top 10 ways to identify the coincidences in this numerology masterclass. So check that out. Week 9, personal day, month, year, birthday, your charts, and implementation. So we're going to give you quick table charts that's going to help you understand and break down, so you don't have to longer look up the internet and wonder, why does all these numbers seem the same? Like every time I look at a number, it looks like everybody's saying the same thing, because they are. And then we go in now to finish it off, week 10, mastering locations, your home, your office, your work, helping you dig into, what is the energy that the person you're dating, okay, the doctor's office when you had a major surgery, okay, or your therapy session, right? What is the numbers associated with these places? All right, certain places in the world that have an energetic charge, help you understand, like, okay, Malaysia has an energetic charge of a 9, but Mexico has an energetic charge of a 6. Do you need 6 energy? Maybe Mexico's not the place that you need to be, but you need to be in Germany. Okay. So I love the places. Week 11, tarot mastery and manifestations, your tactics we're going to go through. And then week 12, you're going to get certified and become you're going to learn all the shamanic secrets that I know about numerology, and you're going to become the master. So that's that. And we're going to dip back into, okay, we're going to dip back into, I feel like all right, okay, cool. We're going to dip back into the numerology and see what's going on. So this Ashleisha, this last part, when we get back into the Leo, Mercury and Leo in retrograde, is going to be about learning how to control your sexual energy and learning how to manifest from the mind. So the mind, we have a thought and it essentially comes true. Now, when we have a negative thought as a bad seed, the root of it is going to be poisoned. And then because the root's poisoned, everything, all the fruit that you bear will be poisoned. So if you had negative thoughts earlier in the week, it's a time to revise your mindset on what you're manifesting from that new moon or so 3 weeks ago. Okay, that how what the full moon in Capricorn, 29 degrees with Pluto and the moon, karmically closed out a very long story from 2008 up until now, 2024. That's 16 years. That's a long time. That's a lot of negative thoughts that you had back in 2008 until now. So understand it's a lot bigger. That's the reason why I'm doing a live. Okay. So this sexual energy with the Ashleisha Nakshatra is it's serpent energy. It's your creative potential. It is your kundalini that is still coiled up and trapped. And we're going to be able to help you release that. Okay. So next, what we have. Now, the key themes with this is when Mercury goes into Leo, Mercury is about exchange. It's about creating deals, switching up, changing something for something. You know, give me a glass, I give you money. Okay. Give me a bed, I give you a society of connections, right? So it's about exchanging things and learning how to focus on how your exchanges can create and generate income for you, generate resources, generate stability and comfort. Okay. And now when it's in Virgo, it's helping you to present yourself as the more polished servant that you are here incarnated to be. Your karmic duty is going to be activated during this Mercury retrograde, and your mind is going to align with what am I here to do? How can I serve in a way that is lasting and that will ultimately get me the recognition that I crave, but in a way that still is full of humility? How can I be brave and courageous with what I say from the heart and then be able to communicate from the heart with the lens and through the perception of a very clean, clear-cut mindset? And that's going to be something where your mind is no longer in charge. Your heart is the one who has the frequency opening up you to full abundance, right? Because the heart chakra is where if your heart's closed, you're not going to make any money. Let's be honest. And so now what we have here, okay, I have the next part, and we're moving into Mars and Gemini before we get into the transits. So Mars in Gemini is ruling the 11th house and the 6th house. Now, the 6th house wants us to improve. It wants us to change the meaning that we have assigned to certain parts of our personality and identity, as well as the meaning behind the work that we do has to align. It is also about managing the chaos that is in your life, whether it's between your documents or whether it's between your chaotic thoughts or your thoughts that are highly positive and manifesting from a pure angelic seed. Now, the 11th house is where we get information from these guides, from these supports, where we no longer need to attach our own ego to feeling hurt when somebody denies me running a numerology masterclass. And then somebody says, your numerology program is stupid. It looks like you crapped it out and didn't care about it. And it looks like you're a fake guru and mentor and you're not a shaman. And so it's like, okay, it's the 11th house in Mars and Gemini is about, okay, I hear what you're saying in this communication or in the fact that you're projecting these thoughts onto me. And that's how you feel about yourself. I hear that. At the end of the day, because it's 11th house, my angels are saying, I don't need to attach to that. And so because you're not attached to it, your ego is not hurt when it's time to share this idea. Okay, Mars and Gemini broadcasting something, it's not hurt because you realize, look, at the end of the day, this is God's plan. This is not my plan. So why am I so attached to this? I'm actually not attached to it. This is a part of conditioning that we're healing. And we talked about a little bit earlier in this video. And so that's what Mars and Gemini is really helping you do, is helping you cut away from the people who, to be honest, they speak negative and bad against you and upon your name and upon your dreams and your aspirations. And ultimately, at the end of the day, they take you away and help distract you from the more karmic and admirable work that you do, the work that while you stay humble and you do it, It may seem like you're getting no praise. You may seem like you're getting no attention. At the end of the day, you are. The right people are seeing you. But if your frequency and your mindset is on the people who are deciding that your work isn't worth anything, jack squat diddly, you're going to stay in that frequency and you're going to not be in your heart, you're going to be in your mind. And so this is a lot about getting into the mind. Getting into the heart. Now, the last thing is this about what is your unique contribution to society and how can you let go of an old dream, an old aspiration so that the new one can actually be born? Because Gemini is a mutable sign that changes our thoughts, it changes our behavior, it changes our direction in life and where we're going long term, something that we want sustainable. And so in order to do that, we have to let go of things that we don't want, places that do not support us, things that are genuinely not unique to our personal design and unique output in the world. So the Mars will help you cut through the fear, and you're going to go to war in your mind. I'm going to let you know that you're going to go to war in your mind. My recommendation is to listen to less music right now. And if you do listen to music without words so that you can hear your own thoughts. Now, the last thing is Mars can really be a gardener. And so to help keep your mind occupied, really take care of your plants and do some gardening. Put your hands in the dirt so that you can ground your mind and step back into your heart, aka a motherly frequency to nurture and care for something. In a way where now that Ashleisha Nakshatra we were talking about happening when it goes back into Leo is going to allow you to use your sexual and creative potential and energy to ultimately bring something that charges you, that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel radiant and vibrant. And that's where you really want to spend this energy rather than isolated. So we get now into the forecast. This is Mars and Gemini. So Mars and Gemini is the third house for Aries, and Mercury in Virgo is the sixth house, and we're going to move into the fifth house. Aries, welcome. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Here's what's happening for you. You're being asked to take care of your mental health first and foremost. Your mental health really matters. And not only does it matter, it's something that when you get that back to the more light forms as we step back into the fifth house of Leo, your level of courage and bravery and honor and dignity that you put into your work is going to be something where you no longer crave the praise, because Aries, you're a sign that likes to be seen. You are a 0 to 2-year-old. You are a baby. And as a baby, babies do need and require nurturing. Now, the key here is with the going back into the fifth house, you have to nurture your own mindset and you have to nurture your own documents and projects. This is a time frame where, as much as you may hate it, it's time for you to look at all of the bodies of work that you have done out of your passions, Aries, and step back, slow down, look at them, and get very clean and clear about it's time to create more resources from what I've already completed. It's time to look at the documents and all the arts and all the projects that I've done and to start to create things. I'm an Aries. And so it'd be like taking this flute, looking back at things that I may have recorded, things that I've documented when it comes to my passion work, and go ahead and say, you know what? It's time for me to create courses, time for me to create meditations of how the flute has helped calm and ground my mind, because my heart expressed through my voice what my heart was feeling. Okay. And it calmed the mindset and the negative thought patterns that helped me overall regulate my nervous system. This is the kind of energy, Aries, where this now turns into you going to YouTube Music and deciding I'm going to put all my flute melodies on YouTube Music and on Spotify. I'm going to organize them and give them names. I'm not going to leave them nameless anymore. I'm going to say that this is Heaven's Gate, right? This next song is Crystal Glass. This next song is Waterfall Rising. And it's about organizing that. It's I'm an Aries, I run a membership. It's about going back and look at my membership and saying, look, I've done an entire planet series with all 9 planets. Reorganize that and put those documents into little mini courses for people. This is your job, Aries, right now. Mars is giving you the energy to do that and cut through the fear that have not allowed you to be methodical, objective, and just honest with all right, this is what it takes to be courageous with the things that I've created. Aries, that's what I have for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that, Aries, and hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Everybody else watching, go ahead and make sure you drop your signs in the chats so that we can see what's going on. And I do sit and I send you all a reminder that we're running a 12-week masterclass. If you check this out, type Shaman 22 for your discount, and that discount will give you $22 off. And 22 is an angel number saying that we are on track. Here are the weeks. We went through that. It's earlier in the video, so I won't spend too much time on that now. I'm going to get back into Taurus. All right. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, here we go. Taurus, Mercury is running through your 5th house in Virgo, and it's going to go Virgo and Leo back into your 4th house, Taurus. Now, Mars and Gemini is ruling this it's transiting your 2nd house, Taurus. So, Taurus, to me, this is a very building block type transit for you. And at the end of the day, when I think about, I need to kind of pull this up for 1 second. Okay, Taurus. So Mercury's ruling your 2nd and your 5th house. Yep. And then Mars and Gemini is ruling your 12th and your 7th. Okay, Taurus. So at the end of the day, this is you during this transit. Mars and Gemini is helping you cut through the psychological jargon and honestly bullshit that you have gone through when it comes to how has your subconscious program impacted and affected your relationships and your friendships. Right now, Mars is asking you to cut through the fears of what it takes to kind of stop being so stuck and stubborn with connecting with people that are actually truly authentic and people who, you know, aren't just there and about it on the outside, but inside them have a very deeply, you know, desirable trait that you are looking to connect with within yourself, but you know, instead we're judging and criticizing it outside of ourselves. So that's the Mercury and Virgo part on a negative frequency. If you're judging and criticizing that of how somebody else really loves and puts a lot of self-love and affection and a deserving energy within themselves. And that's the 5th house part. Going back into the 4th house with Mercury and Leo, you're going to step into, okay, what part of my family has honestly either given me too much affection and love where I didn't know how to give it to myself, or they didn't give me enough affection and love where I feel like I'm, you know, having a battle and a war within my own heart to give myself that love, that admiration. And Mars and Gemini is helping you to cut through the literal fears and sever from that foundational mindset of, you know, this subconscious program has happened within relationship with others before I was born. So, you know, do I really need to maintain this? And that's what I have for you, Taurus. And hopefully you enjoyed that and you hit the thumbs up and the likes button, Taurus. And remember that we do have this numerology class for you, Taurus, that we want you to check out as the timestamps show you a little bit later what's going on. So enjoy that, Taurus. Hit the thumbs up and we will see you soon. Bye. All right, Gemini, what's going on? So Gemini, remind you that we have this numerology masterclass. Check it out. Discount code Shaman22. And then Gemini, you're one of the stars, right? Mars is in your own sign. So you yourself are cutting through parts of your identity that at the end of the day, you didn't allow your true self to show through. What were you afraid of? What parts of your personality were you willing or unwilling to show? Mercury in Virgo is the sister sign of you. And, you know, you're one of the most impacted people during this time, right? And the question is why? Well, because your own ruler is going through one of its 3 to 4 times a year retrograde. And so you're under revision, your own personality and the actions that you take that are aligned with who you truly are, what your true personality is, what makes you happy for yourself and not for anybody else in society, but for you, Gemini. And Virgo is saying, you know, all right, do I have enough time to meditate and to take time to retreat into the recesses of my mind so that I can better understand my conditionings and so that I can understand how to take my initial impulse that I have to go ahead and boom, jump out of the gate and do something, and then actually pause on it and say, okay, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do this. Okay, so which one am I going to do? And the 4th house will allow you to kind of shift and move back and forth from there. And so in order to do that, we got to go back to Mercury and Leo, which is your 3rd house you see here. Mercury and Virgo go into the third house in Leo. And, you know, this is about the courage and the bravery that it takes to speak up and say what you want to say and not care too much about how other people speak, annoyingly about your name, and they criticize you and they say, oh, well, that Gemini is always just shouting and blurting things out. And the reality is you're here to do that because you've had past lives where this fourth house will show you, what are your past life conditionings? What are your family conditionings where in another life you were shut up, you were mute, you literally didn't have a voice. Whether, you lost your voice in some accident, whether in your family you weren't allowed to talk. And so you've reincarnated this life, if you have this Gemini energy, Gemini, to speak the hell up, to not keep thinking and theorizing about what you want to do and, what makes you feel happy, but to literally do it and do it with courage. So Gemini, this is a no holds barred type transit. And the thing is, the only one that you're holding back is yourself in the moment. Get real honest with that and understand that there is a reason to pause your initial impulse, and there's a time to move forward as well and to leave the thought process. All right, Gemini. So again, make sure you hit that thumbs up and that likes button. And I do remind you, Gemini, to do check out our numerology course. It's going to be a 12-week course starting August 18th. And you see there's a couple things right here. So Gemini, thank you for being here. We're going to move on to Cancer, and I ask you to hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you, J-Lo. I appreciate you tremendously. Thank you for being here. Okay, what we got next? We got Cancer. Okay, Cancer. What's going on, Cancer? You see there's a 12-week numerology masterclass that's going to be here starting on the on the 18th. But you want to hit Shaman 22, only the first 2 people, only until July 31st. Will this discount exist? After that, it's going to go away. You get $22 off this masterclass starting up. Okay, Cancer? So now that we're here, we're going to talk about you and what's going on for you, Cancer. Now, Mercury and Virgo is ruling your third house, and we're going to move back to the second house. So what's going on for Mercury and Virgo? It rules your 12th and your third house. This is really important for you. You don't see that on screen, Cancer. Now, Mars and Gemini is ruling your 10th and your 5th house. You also don't see that on screen. So here's the story for you right now. Okay. The fears that Mars and Gemini is cutting through for you is bringing you to a situation that already happened while Mercury was in Leo. All right. This is the key. And Cancer, this is actually a very complex transit for you because you're going to be taking a tremendous amount of private time, and this private time is to surf through your dreams and is to more deeply understand the symbolisms of the numbers and the numerology, as well as the names, and breaking names that you recall from your dreams back into letters and numbers. So if you see the name April, go through and break April into numbers. And when you break it to numerology, you're going to get a number 5, for example. And it's going to tell you, okay, it's time to loosen up, be free, fill yourself up with hope, and check where you feel rootless, and check where you're feeling too stuck and grounded, and adjust. And only you're going to have the answer for that. All right, Cancer. So the key thing with this now is Mercury in Virgo is helping you to assess these thoughts. And I promise you, a lot of this is going to be dream work. Okay, Cancer. If I'm you, I'm telling you, go spend more time at the water, go spend more time at a lake, at a river, at a waterfall, something especially with deep waters. So that's going to be the ocean. And now what's going to be the other? What's going to be the other? What type of water is going to fit best for you? Deep water, yes. Okay, it's looking like deep water. That's all they're saying. Okay, so deep water for you, Cancer. Go to the ocean. And when you go to the ocean, I want you to go out a little bit further. If you're a good swimmer, I'm not telling you to drown. If you're a good swimmer, go out a little bit further where you can't touch the floor. And then I want you to dive down and then touch the floor of the ocean. Okay, so you don't got to go too far. You don't got to go kill yourself, right? Like be honest with yourself. Understand you're swimming. Don't go where there's too big of a wave, right? There's no reason to risk this. This is just something that should be a very gentle exercise, something that maybe it's a little scary, but it's only scary because it's irrational, where, your feet are only this far from the ground and you got to swim down a little bit. My reason for saying this is if you can do this and you can quickly get back to the top, stay down at the bottom for a second, hold your breath, and then realize how quiet and silent it gets. And what you hear from the Mother Ocean at that point, at that level, will be a very clear audience message, asking and telling you, okay, what to do to earn money and what type of finances and earnings you are worth. And this is something connecting you back to, I don't know why I'm getting Mykonos. So connecting you to Mykonos, maybe as a past life that you had in Mykonos. But Mars and Gemini is going to help you to literally use a little logic to slice through some of the illusions and some of the irrational parts that were happening. And at the end of the day, Mars and Gemini, your 10th and your 5th house, it's going to reconnect you with your heart and your career. Your career is going to connect to the frequency of your heart. And your frequency of your heart will inform you of what reputation you should move forward and secure. Okay. And then ultimately produce physical documents. So you've already had thoughts about what kind of documents am I going to physically produce? Now, when you go back in that retrograde to Mercury and Leo, when you go back into Virgo, now you're just going to be wildfire. You're going to be pushing that thing forward. Okay. Because eventually, guess what? Mars is going to come into Cancer. And when that happens, the identity will match this new disillusion and disenchantment that you had to do, that I feel the water, if you can sink and submerge into it, even if it's not the ocean, the tub. Go into the tub and submerge yourself with some essential oils. Pick and choose the oils. If you check out our numerology class, you'll know which oils, okay? I think that's like week 5 or something. You'll know which oils will be specifically for you and specifically to bring you back into the dreams. All right, Cancer? So check that out. Shaman22 is the discount code. Only the first 2 people will get the discount, Cancer. And it's going to end on July 31st. Okay, so July 31st, discount end whether 2 people get it or not. What's going on? I want to give shout out to a Compassionate Heart School. Definitely feeling the Cancer vibes rolling in. Got a stellium and leading in Cancer. Yeah, so the key with all my Cancers is y'all just went through a full moon and a new moon, right? A full moon at 29 degrees Cancer. So this is big, this is critical, this is huge, right? Like this is a 29-degree story that started and ended from 2008 to 2024. This is very difficult, right? You are killing off. I don't want to say you're killing off, but you are literally absorbing all of the lessons for the last 16 years, Cancer. And it's coming to a final close where things are getting ready to never return to this position, probably in your lifetime. And so this is very deep. It's very intense. Like 16 years it cost you to come to this karmic solution and ending. All right. So Cancer, you have that. Let's move in. And let's talk about Leo. Okay, Leo. Mars is in your 2nd house. I just had a complete, I just frozen time. I don't even know where I went. I just completely dipped out of reality for a second. Okay, I'm back. All right, let me just, Virgo, I gotta take a little break. I gotta blow some steam out. Okay. All right, Virgo, I'm back. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm picking up your mind, and it's not that hard to believe that Mercury is Virgo retrograde for you, right? Like maybe your mind right now is going through, but let's see what we have here. So Virgo, well, that makes sense. Mars and Gemini in the 11th house. Virgo, you have been supporting more people than reasonable. Okay, you've been supporting the hopes, the dreams, and aspirations, as well as sponsoring other people's efforts and dreams in a way that at the end of the day, it's too much. And what you're not doing is taking enough time to pour that into your own dreams and aspirations where you're here to manage chaos, but you're trying to manage the chaos of humanity. And some parts of it are literally just a little bit too chaotic. You're just doing too much for too many other people and not giving enough time to yourself. So here's how that story plays out, Virgo. You are in the second house with, does that make sense? Mercury and Virgo should be the first house. Yeah? Did I typo that? Yeah, that's my bad, yo. That's a typo. Yeah. Oh, I'm in Leo. Oh, damn. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you for that shout out. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so no typo. Okay. Leo. How does that message match you? Huh. All right, Leo. What are you doing? What's going on with you, Leo? Something about that's going to connect. Give me a moment. I see it now. Okay, it's still the 11th house, but you won't see that here. Okay, so this is why, because Mercury rules your 11th and your second house. I was gone. Mercury rules your 11th and your second house. This is why. Mercury, it rules. So it's transiting your second and your first house, but it rules no matter what sign is transiting. It rules your 11th house. So that's the 11th house message that I was speaking about, where it's like, okay, it changes a little bit. You've craved praise and admiration just a little bit too much, where you were doing too much to get the attention. You were doing too much to let people know, hey, here I am. Now the difference is, essentially God kind of intervened in this moment, was like, look, I'm going to throw you in this little flurry, Leo, because at the end of the day, you're a true boss, you're a true king, you're a true queen. And in order for you to step into these roots, the worth, the value of this true king, this true queen, the one that I've mapped out and laid you out to be, I need you to realize that this praise, this recognition is not yours, Leo. It's mine. If I am God speaking, it is my recognition, meaning you don't need to attach to what comes from this, Leo. Okay? I gave you a concept, but it was my concept. So any criticism you receive from being bold, being brave, and honoring my idea, which I thank you for, Leo, I'm God. There's no reason to get caught up in a bunch. There's no reason to be trying to channel for too many people, to be trying to be into too many people's heart frequency and doing what they need to do for themselves. It's a reminder to step back and do what you need to do for yourself, Leo. That's the rulership. Now, what that has done as we move into the second house is help you understand what to value, what to get stuck on, what to just say, this is what it means to deserve. Okay, you hear me now? This is what it means to deserve this new set and form of income. So let me step back into the personality that I gave, which was a false narrative. It was me dipping a little bit too deeply into, if the ego was measuring between the super id and the self, it was like ego was measuring back and forth. Now your yardstick that you have been measuring your worth is going to balance out, but you have to go back and step into the true identity, the unique identity that God assigned you, that you assigned yourself in the spaces of reincarnating. And now when you step back, nobody can tell you nothing, Leo. And you have that feeling deep inside yourself. You know that already because you hear enough memes, right? Nobody can tell me nothing. But you have to know that for yourself, not because you read it or heard it from somebody else, from another group that you're a part of, another association that you've been involved with, but from the association and connection that you have with God. And that's the deep fear that Martian Gemini is cutting away from, to realize that this association and connection that I have with God is way stronger than anybody in the physical world, because my mind is manifesting them in the first place. So as I step back into the recesses and shadows of my mind, I now understand, yes, my creative potential can never be sourced to anybody outside of myself. Of course, I know that. Okay, so that's that, Leo. And the last and final part that I have for you is Mars and Gemini wants you to take a retreat, to take a step back, to take your theories and sit on them. The theories you have about what your dreams and aspirations are, the theories you have, okay? Pause on them, test them in private, test them before you publicize them. And that way you will be impenetrable. That way you will be forever sustainable. That way your fire will cook and burn in a sustainable way, in a way that is no longer dependent on praise or admiration. Okay, Leo, that's what we got. So, Leo, I remind you, like everybody else, okay, Shaman 22 is what you want to do. 12-week curriculum starting on August 18th. Now, the discount, to get this discount only for the first 2 people, Leo, and it ends on the 31st of July. So I will make announcements about that. I'll put it out on my email list, and you guys will get your little update, okay? Hey, hey, hey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. I'm a little crazy today. Feel a little loose. Okay. Let's drink this tea. All right, Virgo. What's up? We're here. I'm officially warm. A little bit of the tea, a little bit of the channeling. Time to take this shirt off. I'm warm. Virgo. So, welcome. Welcome, my child. You are running through your own house, right? And of course, I thank y'all. Oh, shoot, Matrix almost took you out. Bruh, I'm telling you, it's been getting a little strange today. Today's kind of like day 1 of the moon in Aries. And I see the next battle coming. And I'm like, started from very early in the morning. But I've been resting, so it's okay. That's also why I have so much energy. I've been resting a lot. All right, Virgo. Excuse me, I'm back. Mercury and Virgo is run through your first house. Duh. And now the 12th house is what you're stepping back to in Leo. Ooh. And so what did you miss, okay, as you've been traveling in the depths of your soul? What did you miss? And when I say what did you miss, I mean, what did you observe about who you were becoming, Virgo? And what are you going back to observe again to realize I cannot skip this part of how I have unraveled myself at the seams and essentially sabotaged myself from becoming and expressing and embodying in my physical body, starting from a vision, starting from the feminine womb, aka in the darkness, no one sees me yet. So can I go back into the womb, into the mother, and remind myself through witnessing, through observing who I'm becoming? And as you do that, what's going to come out is Mercury rules your 10th and your first house. So the first house is doubled up here, right? The personality that you're getting ready to explore is brand new. Meaning the 10th house saying the image that is coming through, where did you mistake the image and think that it was one thing that you wanted to be remembered for, and you're stepping back and realizing, no, actually, this is the direction. And this is the maturity that I require at this stage of my evolution to move and act like a boss. Okay, so that when I'm creating exchanges and deals, whether through my communication of the information and knowledge that I sit on as the hermit, as the wise one, and the maturity is saying, can I essentially hold my service so that I share only in the right moments and only the right themes? Boom, I've had deja vu of this moment years ago. I don't know what's going on today. I'm out there. So Mars and Gemini, okay, we're cutting through the fears of that image. It's like, I'm ready to show up as ... Okay, Virgo, congratulations. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for this level of high service, this karmic duty. Now, Mars is ruling your 8th house and your 3rd house. So this is about the physical traumas that you have stored in your body by the thoughts that you have never processed, the thoughts that you ran so quickly through and you didn't get rid of to the point of annihilation. And so it's not that you didn't, shift and change them. It's certain thoughts that you did not annihilate. And the reason why 8th house is saying you got to kill them off is because you can't bring this into your career. You can't. Part of you maturing is saying, I have to not just reduce this and improve the process of how I do this. I have to completely annihilate and kill it. I need it to no longer exist. And here's why. Because if it does, it will get trapped in your physical body. And those emotions that you did not feel, the deeper emotions about things that have existed in your life, but they no longer exist, whether it was a person, a thought, a place, or a thing, Virgo, you are now in the process where it's like, okay, I need to reprogram all of that and deal with it in its totality, because I cannot become this new self unless I forgive the experience and what I perceived from the mind as a trauma, but in reality, it was divine and a blessing. You just overthought a good thing, Virgo. A good thing happened to you, you overthought it. And as you dip back into yourself, the womb, the motherly womb, where you are safe. And I remind you, you are going to be safe here. This is a safe moment to exist, Virgo. You are protected by unseen forces. You're going to ultimately win, Virgo. So, Virgo, I feel like your message was just that simple. I think going any further from that, it's just like, I'm just ruining it. So I remind you here, Virgo, that we have the Shaman 22 discount. All right, July 31st, it is over. That is literally like 5 days. But we begin August 18th. So this is a one-time thing that's happening. When it ends, it ends. It's only for the first 2 people. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, Virgo. I will see you soon. And we now move into Libra. All right, Libra, what up? What up, boo? Libra, you just made me feel like I wanted to hit on you. Like, what's up with that? Like, I was like, what up, boo? Like, let me see a Libra in the streets walking out here. What up, girl? What up, girl? Come here, girl. My bad, Libra. You too sophisticated. I don't want to catcall you. How you doing? How you doing? Okay. What up, boo? What up? All right, Libra. All right, Libra. What's going on for you, yo? Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on for you, Libra. Okay. I got a good energy. I got a good feeling about you, Libra. And to be honest, a lot of forecasts that I've seen for you, like, things have not been the brightest. If I'm being honest, like, they have not been the brightest. But I feel like this one's good. So let's see what happens. So Mercury and Virgo is in your 12th house, bam, and it's going to retrograde back to the 11th house. Now, let's see what's happening here, Libra. Your Mercury runs your 9th and your 12th house. Okay, so this is a, okay, so Libra, I'm getting it. This is your last moment to isolate. Okay, you got one more month to month and a half to reel it back, to isolate, and to respect your sensitivities, Libra. Okay, your sensitivities is not allowing you to be shallow. You shall allow. You shall allow. What shall you allow? That's going to come back. What shall you allow? Okay, bam. So it's not allowing you to be shallow. It's not allowing you to be superficial. And it's reminding you of how authentic you are. It's reminding you that integrity matters the most. And so a little bit like Virgo, you had to step back into the womb of the divine. Okay, you had to step back into the Akasha. And from the Akasha, you're actually going back to when you were at the heights, when you were at a stage in time in your life where you were higher than the high, you were above the political parties, you were literally in a realm of the divine with and on your own. Not on your own as in people, but on your own as in you were so high that you begin to give and give and give, because you were like, look, I have so much abundance that I honestly cannot sustain it. So I need to give away some of my riches. I need to give away some of my connections. I need to give away some of my contacts. I need to give away some of my, luxuries. Now, what luxuries are is something to you. That could be the fabric of your bed sheet, right? That could be a luxury, giving it to somebody. What your luxury is could be the amount of plants you have in your home, right? That could be your luxury. Your luxury cannot be defined by me. Your luxury can be understood only by you and through your isolation and your willingness to take your internal journey. This is a mental and spiritual voyage, okay? This is learning how to recreate a physical reality from the spiritual, and realizing that when you hone and tweak, the purity of your connection to God, your mind will then manifest from this pure angelic and cosmic seed. And this cosmic seed is saying, look, you have a chance to go back, to when you were at the height of the height, where you were so high up, you didn't care about the stuff anymore. It's like you became so rich with luxury that it actually could not be appreciated. And so you gave it away. So now you're going to go back to the point before you gave it away, before you give it away again. But when you give it away this time, you're going to be a little more intentional. Okay. Now, here's what else is happening. Libra. Mars and Gemini, it's supporting you. Here's how it's helping you out. Mars and Gemini transiting that ninth house of yours is the man-made route, ascension, and connection to God. So check in with your faith. This, Libra, for you is probably a time to take on a mentor, Libra. Take on a guru, somebody who is in a space that you desire, right? If it's numerology, check out this numerology. If it's shamanism, check me out. If it's ballet, you don't come see me. So you have to be intentional, right? I'm not going to teach you ballet, right? Like, that's not going to be my role. You got to go to who does the ballet, right? If it's singing, I'm not your guy. I sing for myself. I sing for my soul. I don't teach people how, right? Rather than through example. So my point is, Mars and Gemini is ruling your seventh and your second house. It's saying you have to be intentional with your relationship with God, As you prioritize God and you date and relate to God, your divine partner will start to cut through the seams of the metaphysical. Your partner is metaphysically waiting for you to value yourself, to finally set the boundaries you need and stay still within your own stuff. Because you sourced too much of yourself outside of yourself. And now it's like, bring it back. Come back to me. And this is why I think it's a beautiful time to be alive. As you come back to yourself, this becomes the stairway to heaven inside. And that's the ninth house. It's an internal voyage. Now, if you're not the internal voyager and you're in an external stage of reality, this could be taking the trip abroad. To be honest, you could do it either way. If you are unable to use your assets to travel abroad, buy or invest in a mentor. If you're unable to invest into a mentor, take more time to meditate. But intentional meditations, like, this isn't just close your eyes. It's like, no, like, you have to meditate with an intention. Like, you have to really discover your truth and discover what is integrity to you. Okay, Libra? So a little long-winded, but this is a recall to integrity. Recall your integrity, Libra. And understand that this cannot be sourced outside of yourself. So it's like, even if you get a mentor, even if you get a guru, you cannot source everything to that mentor. You cannot. You can't source everything. It's not saying that you can't understand your projections and reflections from that mentor. Because that's the only reason why they would probably need to exist, so that you can see your own projection. But outside of that, it is only with the hope and the intention of, I'm doing this so that I can be full within myself, so that I don't need that person at all. With no disrespect, that's the intention. All right, Libra. So if numerology is something that you feel like you would like mentorship in, you have an opportunity to type in Shaman 22 on my website. Okay. And you'll have these 12-week program happening starting. But remember, July 31st, it is going to be over. Okay. July 31st, I'm killing it. It's going to be over. All right. So that's that, Libra. You had a long wind. Okay. So give your boy a thumbs up, Libra, because you had a long-winded breath, man. I'm like, damn, Libra had a whole bunch going on. Okay, here we go. Okay, hit the thumbs up and the likes button, Scorpio. What it do, baby girl? All right, we have the 12 weeks happening. Remember, July 31st is going to be over. I'm going to put email blast out there so y'all can see that. And don't miss it. The first 2 people will get a discount. Type Shaman 22, and we're going to show y'all some love, okay? God is your breath. Go on. Yes, 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 yes. That's spot on. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, Stairway to Heaven. Damn, did I say that? I thought I said something about a stairway into yourself or something. Okay. Recently meditating on ultra poverty and ultra wealth recently. See what I'm saying? That's right on point. If you had Libra energy, Scorpio season gonna be a. I think this Scorpio season gonna be different. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. We're at Scorpio. Of course. Damn, what's going on? Oh, don't do that to me, baby. Oh, I think the power's not working. Ooh, laptop's going to die. That's gonna happen. Yeah, the power's out. Uh-oh. Okay, the power is out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the power is out. All right, so I'm gonna have to close this down now because I gotta turn that off. My bad, y'all. Power went out. Somehow, I don't know how the Wi-Fi don't be going out when the power go out. It's the weirdest thing to me. But give me a second. I gotta regroup. Laptop's dead. Gotta turn that off. All right, Scorpio. Of course it dies on you, right? Of course we say Scorpio and that tank just died. Okay, here we go. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Brr. Okay, let me see. I gotta go to this banner here. Okay, and then we gotta hit Scorpio. All right. Okay, here we go. Scorpio. That's probably why I feel like my channel is so like I'm like wide open right now. I ain't gonna lie, I'm wide open, and it's probably because there's no electricity, so there's none of that sideline chatter, none of that sideline zzz. It's not affecting my heart frequency right now. So, okay, Scorpio. Okay, Mercury is in your 11th house. Moving to the 10th when we go Mercury and Leo, but Mercury is ruling your 8th and your 11th house. Now, Scorpio, for all my Scorpio energies, I'm feeling something beautiful right now. Actually, you're getting ready to pull in some large investments, okay? Because the 8th house is chunky money, and the 11th house is the most money you're gonna ever have before you give it all away, okay? And literally, like all the money you have by the time you get to the 11th house, it is designed to give it away to the right cause, not to any cause, not to any group, not to any membership, not to any relationship, but to the right one. And it's about the discernment, Scorpio, to not give it to the wrong one. You have to decide who are the wrong people to invest in. What are the wrong groups to invest in, the wrong memberships to invest in, the wrong organizations to sponsor. Okay. This is like giving your money, like when you take money out of the bank and it says, would you like to donate, $2 to X foundation? And it's like, well, you know that foundation is a scam. Let's be honest. It would be like, that would be 11th house. Like knowing I don't want to give my money to that. I can give my money to a foundation in person, somebody, a group, to a soup kitchen. Okay. So Scorpio, there's a little double whammy happening with this. Now, Mercury and Virgo is your 11th house, meaning you're getting ready to change a lot of hands. Because Mercury in Virgo is an earth sign, we're talking about earthly resources. We're talking about money. Like, let's be real. Virgo is the harvest. Virgo is, it has its money to live a very posh yet simple lifestyle, right? But it's very elegant, right? Like, it has very nice things. Every Virgo has nice things. Doesn't mean it has to cost a lot. It just means that it has to feel like it costs a lot. Okay, it has to feel like it's worth a fortune. So Scorpio, this is very good for you. Get ready to invite some luxuries, some designs, that some fabrics that are very soft to the touch. Now, with that being said, or exchanging, if you're a fabric designer, it's a good time to exchange things. Okay, if you are I'm gonna stop at fabric designer. Okay, so Scorpio, Mars and Gemini is obviously your 8th house, but it's not ruling your 6th and your 1st house. So Scorpio, here's what's happening. You got a lot of energy in your body. The moon went void. That's probably what's going on. That's probably what's going on with this electricity. Moon went void. We out here. We in space right now. Yeah, we in space right now. Okay. So Mars and Gemini, Mars is a very physical sign, physically oriented sign. 6th house is a very physical house, how you deal with your physical health, how you deal with your mental health. The 1st house is your physical body as well, okay? And the type of energy, the force that it takes to step out of the womb, right? If the womb is the 12th house, the 1st house is the amount of force it takes for a baby's head to push through that thing like, nah, I'm out here. I've been reborn. So what's the rebirth that you're going through, Scorpio? Okay. I feel like you're going through rebirth in your career and the people that you're relating and dating. Okay. And when I say relating and dating, I mean like the people you're dating in society that, again, you are exchanging ideas, you are exchanging assets, you are exchanging resources, you're exchanging business, okay, with any and other people. You are investing your energy in people. But within that investment energy, the key thing that you need to watch for is whenever your body is physically going to experience pain, be very careful and understand what that pain is about. If you know you dig in your backpack and you slice your finger somehow because something stabbed you. Okay, understand. Okay, boom. If it's right here, then Capricorn, right? Capricorn's talking to you. If it's right here, then it's Libra, right? If it's right here, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Understand what's happening to your physical body, because they're going to be how your angels are going to communicate when things are going too far, when you miss something. When you physically experience the pain, it's going to be specifically when your angels have tried to talk to you in a gentle way and you missed something. Okay, so that is that. So know that already you're one warning beyond the initial steps. If you have physical pain, back pain, knee pain, okay, and the bigger the pain, the bigger the message, the bigger the miss. Okay, because right now the 11th house is the largest of gains, the largest of aspirations coming to pass in reality, and they don't want you to miss it. They don't want you to miss it. So that's what they're going to do. Now, separate from that, Scorpio, okay, Mars and Gemini is asking you to assess the fears, okay, to collect and observe all of the fears that you're experiencing and to assess how your fears have been actually structured by negative thought patterns. Okay, Scorpio, it's like when you are one of the fewer signs that no one goes deeper into the depths of hell, okay, then you like not many people go further. The only one that can possibly go further is Pisces, and they get there by accident most times. Like, you know, sometimes they actually get there on purpose, but you know, they can just turn it off, right? Like you can get obsessed and forget to turn it off, right? That's why I think you know the depths of hell in a way very intimately. Only one I think would be like that is going to be Virgo, maybe, but the hell on earth rather than in the metaphysical. And so my point of saying that is sometimes when you spend too much time in the dark, too much time in gloomy situations, too much time depressing your energy, it is positive for you to release those in sporadic and sometimes sudden burst, and you create magic, right? Like you birth something that's worth expressing, whether it's a song, whether it's a new dance move, whether it's a poem, and if you're a poet, right? Whatever those things are, Scorpio, it's part of your design to release the purity and authenticity of your highest and most light felt expressions. And so my key is be careful and be mindful that this is a better chances to express it through the light felt expressions, and also to take care of your physical body and your mind through the physical body. So more movement, Scorpio. Okay, do not waste all of this energy in sex. As for orgasms, do not have excessive orgasms, in my personal opinion. Even if you are having sex, do not ejaculate. If you're a man, tell the woman, I don't want to ejaculate, as an intention ahead of time, so that you can work this creative energy. Because like I said, this is going back into astrolasia, and astrolasia is the coiled up snake energy in the sky or inside of us, that particular part of our in our root chakra. And it's a coiled snake. It is creative potential that goes undocumented, unused. And it's the kind of thing where we need to unravel that Kundalini energy right now. So breath work will help you to not only stay and remain intentional, but to connect to God's message and bring it into your physical body as the vessel. Okay, your physical body is, Mars and Gemini is mentally obsessing about this passion that you'll want to birth into this physical reality. So allow yourself to obsess, but obsess and be optimistic, be positive, be light felt. Okay, and get rid of the fear that you have to stay only in the depths of the nastiness and the gunk and the ugliness of the part of Scorpio's existence, because it's a choice, okay, of what you choose to be obsessed about. You can change your mind. And that's what Mars and Gemini is here to tell you. You can change your mind. You could be in a bad situation and make it good. Okay, Scorpio? Scorpio, hit the thumbs up and the likes button. I think that the promotion is gone. Yes, it's gone. My computer died, so yeah, I won't be able to see that. So do remember, Scorpio, that we have a discount that's happening. You see at the bottom, July 31st, it's over. It's going to be valid for the first 2 people only. And it's a masterclass. So type Shaman 22. That's a discount code on my website. It's pinned in the YouTube chat, and you'll get that. My daughter felt crappy and was able to get over it. And she this conversation with me. 6'2", yeah, 6'2", and she's 6'2", and she's a daughter, so she has years. She has a long time before she steps over the roof, right? And she's a projector, so she's born in a world where 80% of people in the world are not like her. So that's tough. Yeah. But it's her design. She chose to live that life. Okay, here we go. So Scorpio, we move on. Hit the thumbs up, Scorp. Hope you enjoyed that, baby. Sagittarius, Mercury. Okay, very occult time frame for you. But the irony is occult because you naturally feel a little more debilitated in the physical world. But occult in a sense where you're going to be discovering your karmic mission that you're here to exchange. Okay, but with who or what is the question. All right, Sagittarius. I mean, with people of integrity, like you have an occult mission that you're here to share with people in integrity. Okay, so this for me is like, when I say in integrity, it means you're going to see things that other people are not going to be able to see, Sagittarius. It's part of your gift being naturally connected to the third eye, right? Now, what you need to make sure you don't do is lie or create an illusion for somebody that is harmful for them. It is not so that they don't experience an illusion that is positive, right? Like if God tells you to tell somebody this and they're stubborn and you were encouraged to tell them in a way where you needed to twist some details, I'm going to tell you that right now, that's actually okay to send them on a mythical journey and tell them a story that they need to hear in the way they need to hear it so that they can activate their karmic mission, which is a part of your karmic mission to share with them. Now, the warning that I have for you is don't alter those details for your own personal gain. You have to let God give you your gains from this. God's going to throw you on the top of the mountain, make you the head honcho of the hill. But God's going to do that. You can't let the other person, you can't expect to give this mythical story to somebody else. This is literally about somebody else, by the way. You can't give this mythical story to somebody else and expect and get mad at them that they don't appreciate and give you the attention and recognition that you feel you deserve from that person. You've got to be willing to accept that it's going to come, but from the person that it's going to come from, right? And that's not going to likely be the person. That's just your job to share with them. So this is a selfless transit for you. You got to be very selfless and be honest with when you switch and change that story. Because I do believe you're going to talk to somebody very stubborn. You're going to talk to somebody who's very stuck in their ways. You're going to talk to somebody who's not really trying to hear it. And they're going to probably look at you as, oh, look at this wise ass, right? But you are wise. Like, let's be honest, but you're wise through your experience. You're wise because you can and you do see what people don't see. But how you share the story with somebody, you have to stay in integrity. Okay. You cannot twist it for your own gain. That's the only warning. Now, Mars and Gemini. Something's wrong. No, no, no. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Mars and Gemini is ruling your fifth house and your 12th house. Yeah. Okay. This is kind of connecting to the faith in yourself to share your heartfelt message with this other person, whether it's just by you being a media producer, like me being on YouTube, I'm producing media content and I'm sharing something to somebody, or I'm in a relationship with somebody and I'm teaching them something that is still, again, in integrity. It's about sharing it from the heart frequency. Okay. Sharing it in a way where at the end of the day, even if that person gets triggered and they feel like you're lying or they feel like you're being a wise ass, because you're sharing it from the heart frequency, God will handle them. You have to detach and realize that you are deserving to share your heartfelt and passionate message in the way that you see fit, in the way that will open this mystery for them that you might not be required to take it all the way through. Okay, that's the key. You might be required to share a part of it, maybe parts of it, but you're not probably here to show them the entire camino, the entire walk, the entire journey, the entire path. Just show them what you're being asked to show them and do it from your heart. And God will take care of the rest. Have faith, Sagittarius. Hope is your best weapon. Deal the hope. Be a hope dealer. Okay? And do it with intention. And God's going to take care of the rest. All right? Scorpio, Sag, we have a discount happening. Look at the bottom. Numerology Masterclass. Discount code is Shaman22. It's on my website. All right. It will end on July 31st as for the discount. But August 18th is when we actually begin. Okay. The first two people to sign up, that's that. Hey, bro, how are you? Ah. Wow. Okay. So I have a Sagittarius. For my Sagittarius, here's a good example. I have a Sagittarius rising in my progress chart, right? Now I have an application for a one-on-one shamanic mentorship, working with people one-on-one for what, 12 weeks, 6 full classes, homework in between, the whole night, right? I haven't made many mentions about it. It's actually the first time talking about it out loud. Now, somebody brought somebody went to the first portal, right? Where from there they get an application. And boom, I see it. I get the message this morning. I'm like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And then the person just sent me a message. Here's a prime example. Just sent me a message saying, boom, boom, boom. Hey, I went through this. I applied. I did this thing, but I did it hastily. I didn't really look at everything. I just kind of did it. And, I don't know their reasons because it's a long message and I don't have time to read that on the middle of a live. But here's a live, simple example. Okay. Me as a Sagittarius rising, I had to be intentional by the program, by the outlet. This is me, 10th house, right? Mercury exchanging things in my career. By me in my career, sharing something as authentic as I can in 10th house is about being strict. It's about putting boundaries. It's about doing things the long route, the route where, everybody's not going to make it through the 10th house. It's just the reality. Okay. People will get mad about how they can't make it through the 10th house. It's just a part of reality. And who makes it, makes it. My point of saying that is the 7th house part here is I'm being intentional with my text, by the barriers, by the boundaries. It's like I'm not wasting a lot of time and energy talking to people of, oh, you want to do this or you don't want to do this. Like, look, you got plenty of ways to see what's up. Right. And I never had to have a conversation with that person other than what they told me. So sad, just kind of what I'm saying, where the story I wrote in the description is a part of the mystery that they have to discover and solve for themselves. And it also had enough boundaries and barriers for them to come up and hit the wall and go, damn, I made a quick decision. It's why you can't just buy a one-on-one service. You know, you could buy a reading without that many boundaries, right? You can do that. But when it comes to working with me for 12 weeks, there's a boundary, right? Something like this 12-week numerology class, there's not a boundary. You can just buy it. Why? Because I'm not giving that much. It's intentional, right? Like it's not a one-on-one seventh house relationship. Seventh house is one-on-one. So in the one-on-one relationship, seventh house, it's very different than doing something with a group. It's a lot more time, a lot more energy. You got to set the boundaries, Sagittarius. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, one of our members, what up? Get it, get it, get it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Exactly. Facilitators of God message is a good point. Oh, North Node. I don't know if you saw my North Node series for Sagittarius, J-Lo, but I would check it out. I think it's like a 9-minute video for Sagittarius North Node. It's going to say Rahu. Yeah, my dreams have been buck wild. I've been writing them down every morning. It's been like a lot of effort to keep track of my dreams lately, but they've been hella prophetic, so I'm just listening. Okay, here we go. The Awakening. All right, boom. I'm back to Capricorn. Capricorn, what up? Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Checking my little resource over here, see what we got going on for you. Capricorn, you're an earth sign. All right, Mercury is ruling the 6th house, another earth house, and the 9th house, fire. Okay, earth and fire has the ability to take a vision and solidify it. Now, the key with you is what's the vision that's being given to you, Capricorn? Okay, I can't tell you what that is, but I can try to inform you what I do know. Now, Mars and Gemini is ruling your 6th house, but no, sorry, it's transiting your 6th house, but it's ruling your 4th and your 11th. Okay, so Capricorn, if you look back about a month ago, actually with the Compassionate Heart School, she's in the chat, I did a video called Venus and Cancer. It was a Venus and Cancer transit. It rules the 11th and the 4th house standardly, and you'll get a lot about what that may mean. All right, just the beginning. Don't look at your forecast for it. Look at what Venus and Cancer mean for the 11th and the 4th house. But let's talk about what it means for you right now. And Mars, because Mars is different than Venus, let's be honest. Capricorn, what I'm getting is this is actually a slow down kind of energy for you. It's a slow down energy for you because things are changing. All right. So what I'm saying is the change is actually speeding things up enough, but it may not feel that way. You may not realize that. Okay. But 6th house is changing things. Okay. The 9th house is changing your perception of your faith. How you perceive your own faith is changing, and how you perceive the efforts that you put into your work and the concepts of your great work, your karmic work is shifting, is changing. Like you're not going to be producing content and media in the ways in which you were. You're going to be asked kindly and graciously to be more effective and be more efficient, Capricorn. And the key thing is like, look, Cap, like in all sincerity, like being efficient is not that hard for you. But to be effective and efficient, okay, I want to say that being effective is not that hard for you, but being efficient is a very constant process. So it may not be hard, but it is arduous in its own way. Now, to be effective and efficient is the mission right now. And this kind of for you, Capricorn, goes back to connecting with ancestors. That's what it is. Your ancestors are actually one of the main people right now giving you the scoop. They're giving you the download. They're giving you the upload, and they're helping you through the ascension. And they're asking for you to pause on their messages. They're asking for you to cleanse and purify their message. And because we're going through the 6th house, Martian Gemini is saying, take care of your physical body. If you are eating something that is destroying you or is acidic and it's tearing down your pancreas or your stomach or your small intestines, it's asking you to put more alkaline in your diet. Start drinking water with more limes. Start being more conscious about your last meal. Do not eat before the sun rises. Do not eat when the sun sets or after the sun sets. These are certain things you could do with your physical body, Capricorn, that's going to help you to more cleanly and purely connect with the divine. Now, separate from that, they do want you to cleanse and clean your channel, Capricorn. And they want you to pause on the messages that you are getting, that you are receiving. And don't just blurt them out because it's a part of your work as a tarot reader or as a, diviner of some occult practice or some astrological insight, okay, or numerological. I'm about to give it a black one. Numerological. All right. Whatever, you get the point. Any mystic practice that you have and that you are producing and you're working on, I want you to change how you produce it, change how you disseminate it, and improve and become more effective with the entire process and efficient simultaneously. And that's it, Capricorn. After that, they just told me, like, okay, that's it. You're going to repeat. I'm not trying to repeat. So let's do this. What's going on? Yes. Yeah, slow and steady. This message is the it. Slow and steady. Yeah, watch the video after live. Got you. Diet's rolling in. Yeah. Diet's going to be huge. Oh, and you just went through a full moon at 29 degrees. Yep. The full moon 29 conjunct Pluto. This is permanent. I got Capricorn energy, and I could tell you, like, notice I have not done a lot of these lives. This has been a part of me being more effective and efficient. Okay. All right. So who we got? Capricorn, remind you, we have a discount. Check the bottom. Shaman code 22 for a numerology workshop. July 31st, 5 days or so is going to end. And it's valid only for the first 2 people. So we'll check in. We start August 18th. We meet on Sundays. Aquarius, what up, baby girl? Aquarius, I'm going to take a little sippy dippy. Okay, Aquarius. Mercury wants you to let go of the imposter syndrome. So Mercury in Virgo is in your 8th house, moving back to the 7th. But it's ruling your 5th and your 8th, Mercury. And so 8th is saying, now that you have got a little lick of what it means to be intimate, Aquarius, okay, with your intention, with your direction. Your intention is your thought. Your thought is what you are energizing, okay? The more you energize that thought or intention, the more it will manifest, and you will eventually become obsessed and possessed by this passion of yours. But it is asking you to step back and review and rewind and actually disintegrate the parts of your ego that does deserve but feels entitled to a little extra or misaligned shine. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. And when you go back in this and you revamp your intentions and you do it as your true self, the parts of you who shares because they love what they're sharing, shares because it is pure to their heart, shares because it's connected to their heart and not only the mind. Your intention and what you pour energy into will be cleaner, clearer, okay? More enjoyable and digestible for others. And also not done for the other only because the other wants what you can offer, but it's not unique to you. Mars and Gemini is then here to cut away from, again, parts of what do you say or do or produce with a false courage. And how can you do this with true bravery? And true bravery is sharing your ideas unadulterated, exactly how they are, okay? Not in a way that feels more digestible for another person. And the key thing, Aquarius, is to understand that You know, the things you say when they're true, they do shock people. Okay, they do elevate consciousness. It does make people in your environment uncomfortable, but you cannot stray away from that. Like, you have a duty. Like, you literally have a karmic design, and you are a sign who is, you know, 65, 60 years old, and that old grandma or grandpa stop caring about what people think and about how they say what they say. They spent a lifetime of being polished and inauthentic. And this transit between Mercury and Virgo and Martian Gemini wants you to cut away the false self, the part where you have betrayed your own honor, you betrayed your own dignity, and you essentially just bow down because you think people are fragile, meek, and weak. And what's important is to understand how you may project that fragile, weak, and meek mindset, mentality, or expression, and see that within yourself and realize that by you not saying the flat truth, even if it's going to shock somebody and surprise them out of their pants or panties, hey, I can't stop laughing about that one. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the middle of laughter. Okay. Yeah, man. It's just like, say what's real, yo. Say what's true, Aquarius, and realize that by you not doing that, you are being meek. You're being less than your true self. And if you do that, you're not happy. Okay, you fall too deeply into the people pleasing, and this eighth house is going to help deconstruct your mind in a way that does not allow you to be inauthentic. It doesn't allow you to share from only the mind without the heart involved. It's going to force the heart expression to be able to, then the heart will automatically add the compassion, will automatically add the gentle touch. Okay. And if you don't do this, it will instead express itself as bitterness. Okay. But who are you bitter with? Them or you? And I think at the end of the day, I know a lot of times I'm hard on you, Aquarius, but the reality is I'm only hardened because I know how smart you are. And I understand that your intelligence is your biggest weapon and your largest crutch. And so I am a little tougher on you. And I do have Aquarius energy, and I know where it's at. So I also talk to myself when I say this. Okay. I've spent plenty of time being meek and meager in certain situations, in certain projects, and it's not comfortable. Okay. It's not how we came to live. So be brave. All right. Aqua, hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Thank you. I say this with genuine sincerity and love. All right, check this down below, Aquarius. You know, July 31st, the discount is over, only valid for the first 2 people, and you're going to get $22 off the next masterclass that we're doing on numerology. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what's going on. Divine Feminine Master and membership, yep. Ready for the Aqua gang. Gang, okay, here we go. Last one, baby. Mercury and Pisces, a little bit like Sagittarius in the sense where you fall into your debilitation. In the physical world, you may not necessarily do as well. This can be a little confusion about what's physically manifesting, but it's because in the metaphysical, things are already in a state of change. And that change may seem like delusion, but in reality, is bringing you towards your fate, Pisces. So look at the people that you see outside of yourself and be very intentional in every relationship. Intention is what the end goal is with this for Mercury and Virgo side. But in order to understand your intentions, you got to step back into your hermit once Mercury goes into Leo. So once Mercury goes to Leo, you're going to start rethinking what's truly important to do. Okay. Wow, that's a big mosquito. Hello, bro. Come my way. I dare you. Uh-oh, my vision. I lost my vision. He did come my way. That was a cool trick, bro. He just like disappeared. That was a fat mosquito. Okay, I see. Nope, that's a fly. Yo, what is going on? Okay, Pisces. All right, I'm not liking this, bro. Okay, I'm just gonna bow. Okay. All right, Pisces. Here's the reality. Pisces, you got some. I was trying to give you some sweet, but you got some enemies. All right, they have found a way to become an enemy in plain sight, and um, they're preparing to become an enemy that is not so obvious, but they will manifest in the physical world. And so when this enemy reappears, I need you to understand how you have created this enemy from a mental projection. So when you see somebody in the physical world who seems distasteful, all right, not elegant, not enjoyable, understand that somehow your own negativity manifested them, and they will likely find themselves becoming not an ultimate enemy. That's not true. They're not going to become an ultimate enemy, but they will become a nuisance, a temporary nuisance, who will show their face randomly and sporadically. Now, Mars and Gemini wants you to cut the fears that you have had when it comes to your homeland or your current home, Pisces. All right, wherever you are currently living or what you consider a homeland custom and tradition, that is stopping you from fulfillment, from joy, from happiness, like from enjoying your own space, enjoying your own emotional world. Mars and Gemini wants you to cut that away. Now, the key is Mars for you, Pisces, is ruling your second and your ninth house. So this is about the faiths and the beliefs that, your foundational family before you were born, all right, for generations has set, how they believed in God and how they believed men and women should act and behave, has influenced the way you value yourself and the way in which you pursue or even sustain an attachment to something that is tolerable or intolerable. And honestly, at this point, Pisces, only you can decide if it's tolerable or intolerable. If I'm looking at this and it's an enemy that you're manifesting, I'm going to say that it's actually intolerable, but you found a way to confuse yourself and put yourself in a state of delusion. If your family put themselves in a state of delusion of, well, God is going to take care of all, and I have faith. But it's like you have faith that also requires action. So are you acting on the faith, or are you believing that the faith will take care of it all? That's the question right now. And Mars and Gemini is a sign of courage, and it wants you to be courageous with the fears that you have accumulated and ultimately adopted as a traditional mindset. Okay. And that is something I feel is the enemy that will ultimately manifest in your physical reality. Okay. And eventually will become an open enemy that you will likely deal with. And when I say likely deal with, what I mean is if you are married, your husband becomes your enemy. If you're married, your wife becomes your enemy. And that may go like, well, why was your wife or your husband be your enemy? Well, the reality is you have to deal with them every day. There's nobody that you're going to have more difficult moments with than your wife or your husband, right? Or somebody you are in a relationship with at work, even if it's not a romantic relationship, but just a platonic, social, working relationship. You got to go to work every day and you like your job, you make good money, but you got to deal with an annoying mother, right? It's like, okay, so, or and even not that, but somebody's in your house, you live with somebody in your physical environment, you got to deal with them, and it's like, okay, well, like you like your house, but you don't like that person, but you got to deal with them. Like life's not going to let you out of this contract right now. Pisces, this is the kind of energy that these are the enemies. These are already manifesting. This is why they're out in plain sight. They are open enemies. And the key thing is they're going to remain until you deal with the fear that Mars and Gemini is actually going to cut through the fear that you have with how you connect or disconnect from your meditation, from becoming familiar with yourself, with your soul, with your expression, with your reason for existence, and with your desire for fulfillment, Pisces. Okay. All of this stuff is possible, but like this is a you battle. Like at the end of the day, like, you can play victim and that's okay. But in reality, I know many more Pisces that don't really do and play victim because you're too wise, you're too old, you're too ancient. Your wisdom is just way too advanced. So when you meet others that are just as advanced, like the seventh house, which becomes a perfect reflection of your own internal intention and state of being, you can't really run from that. Like so, the confusion about this enemy is the confusion you have about how you deal with your own hedonisms and pleasures, whether it's the pleasure for martyrdom and victimhood or the pleasure for, great success, which comes with a challenge by default. Any great body of work will come with difficulties, and the difficulty is not inherently good or bad. It simply exists to sharpen and hone your entire vision and bring you closer to your intention. So Pisces, that's what I have for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. What instrument is it that you use? It's one of my favorite sound frequencies. It's the G note. This is my baby. It is the G note. It is linked to the throat chakra. Mosquito is gene key 39. Wow. I don't remember 39 right now off the top of my head. I'm going to get lost if I think about it. If you could tell me a little bit more, J-Lo, about 39, might be helpful. Let's play a little song. So this is my baby. We go to many dimensions with this thing. We be out. We be shifting, and unlocking a whole bunch of stuff. So if you ever want an angelic Reiki session, this flute will be a part of it. I can promise that. And we do all kinds of stuff with this. But like I said, it is connected to the G note. It's the throat chakra. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up and the likes button. I really do appreciate it. I do give y'all the final reminder that the numerology is down below up until July 31st. It will exist. The code is like you see down here. Do you see that? No, you don't. That's a different ticker. My bad. This one. Numerology Masterclass, discount code Shaman22 on my website. It's a new feature they added, so I'm excited to be able to have discounts. July 31st is over, valid for the first 2 people. Other than that, members are going to get that masterclass free, so that's awesome. The first 2 to sign up, you got the discount. I love you all. I thank y'all for being here. And yeah, cha-cha, baby. Enjoy your Friday. This is cool. It's like me hanging out with my friends on a Friday night. All right. I'll try to timestamp this later, but I'll be honest, I'm not going to do that right now. So maybe tomorrow. Ciao.